Hey, good morning. Good morning. It's late morning. Almost, I think it's almost noontime. But I'm back from Big Sur from vacation, and it was awesome. And I've been wanting to. I'm sorry that I haven't been able to put out that much stuff. I planned on going live out there. I planned on uploading Megan and I's video while I was there, but the service was so bad, and a couple people had warned me about that in here. But I didn't listen. I thought I'd make it work somehow. I always, not always, but it's a common theme. As a young person, I always kind of felt like the rules would bend for me, but they don't. I just, that's one of my character defects. I think it has a lot to do with, it's an ego problem, which it's not not a common problem for me these days. But I just thought that somehow my phone would have service. Yeah, I know everybody else's doesn't, but I thought, I'd figure out a way. And obviously it didn't happen. But I'm super happy that I was able to sit Megan down, you know, uh, out there when we got there, up in Big Sur. I let her know. I said, hey, I kind of put it out there that I was gonna, record something with you. And she was like, oh, thanks for telling me. So it was very, it was on the spot. But I thought it turned out genuine and casual. That's just how we are. I was really excited to be able to get her on here so you guys could meet her. Um, I'll have her on, I plan on having her. It would be nice to have, like, maybe at some point I can create my own little subsection of, like, me and Megan talking about. It'll happen. I'll have her on more. But I'm glad that there's planes going by. I hope it's not too loud. Um, Everyone, the comments on that video were awesome. You guys are so sweet, and I'm glad you were able to see in her what I see in her. And um, it was just, it made me real happy. Number one, to put the video out, but number two, to have so many people watch it and see so many kind comments. It's just awesome. While we were up there, so it's still kind of early. Got this mug at this restaurant called Nepente up in Big Sur, and it was awesome. We had the server's name was Will. He was amazing, and before we left, he knew it was our birthday. He knew it was the night before my birthday, and so he gave me a gift, and it was a coffee mug, and I thought it was really great. You know, it was really sweet. Um, it was an amazing dinner. The view was outrageous, but that's it's just I just thought of that because I looked at the cup. Um, I've been doing a lot of thinking about the name of this channel and the purpose of it, and how I can mesh the two together. And I've been getting some good input from a friend who's helping me out, and so I wanted to contrast. I want this channel or I want the name of this to be two sides of the same coin. You know, darkness and light, and struggle and triumph. Triumph. I think I just did a th at the end of that. I apologize. But I wanted to contrast who I have been and who I am now, and and it's going to have a lot to do with removing masks and peeling back layers, and diving deeper, and kind of the destruction of ego, and the constant surrender of my will to life, on life's terms, which I know it's some people will understand what I'm talking about, others won't, and that's okay. But so this concept of wearing masks and realizing today that the only way that I can be successful as a human being, a productive human being who loves and cares and shows compassion and empathy, the only way that I'm able to do that is to remove the mask, whatever that may be. And it's really interesting because almost my whole life, wearing masks was how I survived. Whether it's putting on a front of not being afraid of something, putting on a brave face, I would consider, depending on the situation, wearing a mask. Me pretending to like something that I didn't, to fit into a certain crowd. For a long period of time, I had to wear a mask of everything being okay. Being all right with who I was and not telling people what was actually going on because I didn't want, this, I don't know, this storm of whatever would have happened if things were to have come out about what was happening to me. So I had to wear a mask to cover that for a long time. I've had to wear masks in, relationships with women. I've had to put on a mask, so that they didn't know that I was maybe using drugs or manipulating them or stealing from them. Had to put on masks in front of my family to make it seem like everything was okay. But for a long time in my early life, with the abuse stuff, the masks were a necessity for me to get by, and they worked, and it wasn't, I didn't put on a mask in order to harm anyone else. It was just to sustain normalcy for me. And I can only speak for myself. I'm only speaking from my personal experience. But through elementary, middle, and high school, I had to wear masks in order to live my daily life. And it worked for me, and it behooved me to wear these masks. And my life was good. These masks weren't taking away from who I was or what I was doing. They were actually allowing me to survive in my own skin. And so when I would wear these masks, whether it was to manipulate, to hide, a plethora of masks, take your pick. But in wearing all of these masks and having them work effectively, it just became part of who I was. If I got vulnerable with someone, or what I thought was vulnerable at the time with someone, and removed a mask, it was just one of the many layers of masks that I was wearing. So even though I might have taken one off, there were still, like those Russian dolls. Who knows how many there were, but you'd keep finding more and more. So I'd take a mask off and I'd still have one on, but it would look different. So they would assume that I had taken the mask off and this is like the raw me, but realistically it wasn't. Because I actually didn't know how to safely remove the masks. I would have removed my own face because I didn't have an identity. All I was layers of masks. Underneath, I would have just been like, this ambiguous, not solid formed person, because I was just lost and confused. But again, those masks served their purpose and helped me. And so for such a long time, they helped me and protected me and got me what I wanted or what I needed. So then when, fast forward to being a grown man, 7 years ago or so, um, having to grasp the concept that in order for me to be a man, and I don't mean like in a masculine way, I just mean to be a man, to be a grown, enlightened, responsible human being who is no longer a child, although I got a child in me, I can behave childlike, but in order for me to be a grown man, I had to drop the masks. And I'm only speaking for myself. In order for me to get clean and figure out who I am, in order to be what I'm supposed to be and who I was meant to be, in order to do that, I had to shed all the masks, all of them, not just lying, not just cheating or stealing or manipulating, all the masks. And I didn't realize how hard it was going to be, or how often I was going to have to actually, they'll sneak back on. And I didn't know how often I was going to have to remove the same masks. Almost as though they naturally grow, like almost as though I don't have to take a mask and put it on, but it like naturally occurs, like my beard, like it just grows back and I have to shave. Like I have these things inside of me, these character defects, or these insecurities, or whatever you want to label them. They're in me and they just innately occur, and I have to consciously continue, sometimes more often than others, but I have to continuously remove them, which is wild. Some grow back once a year, some grow back, some haven't grown back. Not all the masks. I don't have to fight to take off all these different masks on a daily basis. But like the ego mask and the selfishness, which is part of ego, that one occurs a lot. And I have to constantly, number one, acknowledge that, oh man, this mask is back. I have to, number one, recognize it and acknowledge it, and then go through the process of removing it. But all that is to say, I feel like a large portion of who I am and what I do and what I talk about is about removing masks and being vulnerable, and that actually being an asset, regardless of what anyone has told you. Because I was misinformed by misinformed people my whole life. Boys don't cry. Grow up. Just grin and bear it. This is what everyone does. It's not really true. Doesn't have to be true. It's okay. Like, it's okay to cry. It's okay for my feelings to get hurt, and it's okay for me to talk about my feelings getting hurt. It's okay for me to set boundaries and tell people no. It's okay to go out of my way and sacrifice some of my time for someone else also. I just, society taught me different things growing up. I've had to learn a lot of it. I've had to seek out a lot of the useful information that I have today. Was not just, I had to seek it out. It wasn't readily available. Like hopping on Instagram, scrolling through social media is very easy, and it can consume a lot of time. And that is not where I have learned my positive life skills. They're not just freely given like that. I had to seek them out, and I had to seek out people who knew these things through life experience. They didn't read in a book, although reading is great, and don't take that the wrong way. But the most valuable experience is from people that I've learned. This is my opinion. The best things that I've learned are from people who have lived it and then shared that with me, or it was shared with them by someone close to them who had lived it. And firsthand experience seems to me in my life to be the best teacher. And, you know, having said all of that, and I keep kind of dancing around it, but the concept of this, of what I'm doing, I think has turned into this Jack versus the mask, whatever the mask may be. And so I'm really toying around with that. A good friend of mine is helping me do things that I don't really know how to talk about, because if I knew how to do them, I would do them myself. But as far as graphics and concepts and art and things like that, I think it can be really cool, and I think that it jives with what I'm trying to do and who I am, and I'm just really excited about it. And I hope I definitely don't say this enough, but I'm so grateful for anybody that is in here, anyone and everyone that watches my content, even if you don't like it, even if you don't comment, if you just consume it, you mean a lot to me. And there are like maybe a dozen people who consistently show up and support me in ways that I never expected. I mean, to the point where they're supporting this podcast, but also like making my life easier on a daily basis, which is profoundly important, because that's not something I didn't start this hoping that my life would get easier. I started this to try and hopefully get others to join me, and we could all make, you know, maybe somehow I could make someone's life a little more enjoyable, or make them feel a part of. I didn't know that others were going to make me feel that way. And it's just such a beautiful, it's beautiful. And I don't want that to go understated. It doesn't go unnoticed. All of your kind comments, even the comments just to say, hey, I see you. Or hey, you know, like some of the comments on Megan and I's video, just like people noticing our body language and us being open and the way we communicate. It's just so nice to see that people see me and to then see us. Like for me to be seen after 30 years of hiding and hoping that no one saw the real me, for me to be seen for who I am and appreciated for that, is more than I thought was going to happen with this. And I don't want that. I don't want anyone to ever think that that's lost on me. I meant to go live with you guys on my birthday. I'm going to go live tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday. I'm going to go live tomorrow. I'll post in my community, in my little community tab, what time. It'll be sometime in the late morning, so I don't have to get up too early. But I look forward to that. Today's the last day of August. August has been a very awesome month. My birthday was so amazing. Everyone here, I mean, especially a few, but everyone here made my birthday so amazing. Megan made my birthday. I haven't had a birthday. I can't remember the last time I had such an awesome birthday. I was so content, and I just felt so loved, in person by Megan and through this, because I had enough service up there to check comments. I just couldn't upload stuff. So I saw a lot of birthday wishes and like super thanks. And Artie, hit me with a PayPal, and Solo Sinner with the PayPal, and Brian M, and Lorna, and all these people, and I'm probably forgetting some. Lane O'Connor with the super, like all of these people care enough about me to go out of their way with their own hard-earned money, and I love you for that. And my words, I'll fall on my words trying to articulate my gratitude for that. But I love you for that. I love all of you that are here. Thank you so much for being here. And I just wanted to touch base with you and let you know that I appreciate you. And I will see you tomorrow. I'll go live tomorrow, Sunday. I feel great being back. My birthday was amazing. Thank you to everyone. Thank you for being so kind to Megan and myself. I love you, and I appreciate everyone in here. Thank you so much.